team, and welcome to Wednesday. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Today's top tip and challenge I wanted to talk about was around body language and voice projection. And it's something that people often ask me, is that what do we do with our hands? What do we do with our bodies? But also, how do we project our voice so that everybody can hear and it doesn't make us sound as though we're shouting? So let's look at some body language. Now, body language is also to do with our eye contact. So when we're connecting with people in our audience, we want to be able to connect with them. So some of the things that we can do is that we can connect with certain people in the audience. Because what we don't want to do is, we don't want to be just sweeping around the audience really quickly so that we can make sure that we've made eye contact with everybody. Is that we can connect with that one person and we can have that sentence and we can continue to talk to that person. And then thinking about it is that when we have those full stops, then we can move to the next person, making it feel more natural. And sometimes that can make us feel uncomfortable, but then as speakers, sometimes we actually have to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. So next time you're speaking to an audience, just have those moments where you connect with people longer and avoid that sweeping action of wanting to go round the room and make sure you've got eye contact with everybody. So give that a try next time you're talking to an audience. Now, another thing to look at is that when we're standing in front of a group of people or an audience, what do we do with our hands? What do we do with them? Well, we can either look at having them down by our sides, or we can have them clasped in front of us. And then we're ready to make that movement when our gestures can actually enhance what we have to say. Because this then avoids doing actions like this. And I know sometimes we want to do that to comfort ourselves. But that actually creates a barrier between you and your audience. And sometimes that means that we have to be exposed as speakers. That's just something that we have to do, and we have to get comfortable with that. So try these different techniques next time you're speaking, to either have your hands clasped just there in front of you, or to look at just having them down by your side. And then we want to look at, when do we actually start to bring our hands up and what do we do with them? And we want to avoid looking like we're the air traffic controller, where we're circling our arms round and round and round. So we want to bring our hands up in an open and approachable way. And we can do this at certain points that we're speaking so that it actually enhances what we have to say. So it means that we move our hands on purpose. So thinking about that next time that you do speak in front of an audience. And another way, because sometimes we don't often get feedback from people, especially if we're speaking in front of an audience that we don't know. So simple things that we can do is we can video ourselves, like I'm doing just now. I can look back and look at different habits that I'm able to change. So those are some things that you can do. Or if you know someone in the audience, you can then ask them, say, what was I doing with my hands? Is there something more that I could have said, or longer that I could have spent looking at the different people around me? And another thing to think about is our voice projection. Is that maybe we're in an audience, it's maybe a small group and we don't have any microphones. And then maybe if there's 20 or 30 people, you want to make sure that the back of the room is able to hear you. Some things that we can do is we can ask our audience, can the people in the back hear me, or do I need to raise my voice? And even though if we're raising our voice, it might seem like to us as though we're shouting. But that will not be the case for our audience. It might just be the case for us, but not for people in the back of the room. And how do we actually project our voice to do that? we want to look at our breathing technique. So I'm going to show you a simple technique, and this is also something that can help before getting on stage or before speaking to a group of people and you feel slightly nervous. So when you put one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach, is that I want you to breathe in and out, and I want you to look and feel, are you breathing from your chest or are you breathing from your stomach? And we always want to be breathing from our stomachs and not from our chest, because to be able to project our voice is that we want to speak from our stomachs and from our diaphragms. So when we take a deep breath in and then out, we can then project our voice by breathing in and out of our stomachs. When we breathe in and out of our chests, it actually restricts our voice. It restricts that message. So thinking about next time that you're speaking, then think about making sure that you're actually inhaling into your diaphragm and into your stomachs. And these are some techniques that you can do prior to getting in front of people, because that will then help your body relax and not be in that stressful, anxious state of mind. That's today's top tips. And there's some challenges for you as well, is next time you're speaking, be reflective and become aware of the eye contact and how you're connecting with your audience. Look at what you're doing with your hands. Where are they and what are they doing? And then thinking of some of those breathing techniques. And once we start to become aware of how we're doing this, we can then start that foundation to make some of those changes. So have an amazing day, and I will see you all again tomorrow.